Hi, good morning, teacher. My name is Oswaldo Vergara, and I and my team will going to present when we will become interplanetary. Now, the company that we choose to present is SpaceX, and maybe you can ask yourself why SpaceX? Why we think SpaceX is the best option to make us traveling to space? Well, firstly, I'm going to explain what is SpaceX. Now, SpaceX is the biggest private company in the USA that makes ships and planes, but firstly, ships. And now, SpaceX was founded in 2002 by Elon Musk in Hawthorne, California, and Hawthorne is central where they develop ships and other prototypes. And one of the most popular ships are Falcon 1 and Falcon 9. That I think that this ship is the most popular. And now we have Falcon Heavy. That ship is powerful. These ships can bring to space tons of height. And one of the most important things that we do to talk into SpaceX is that they develop reusable rockets that make the traveling to space was cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, and those brought to humanity the hope to travel to other worlds.
In this video, we will talk about a special event. No, we will talk about the work of Elon Musk. Those of you who know well the work that SpaceX has been doing, and those of you who close follow the work to send people to Mars for a long time. Elon has been very focused on the project of building a giant spaceship and rocket to make that happen. Early from the decade of the 2010s, this vehicle was first received as the Colonial Mars Transport, or MCT, and also gave it the nickname of BFR rocket, which technically means Big Falcon Rocket. No one really knows how it will work or what it will like, but in the 2016, Elon finally presented the first concept of the Mars rover during a meeting of the International Astronautics Congress in Guadalajara, Mexico. And there is the show animation for the hardware that really showed it sometime. Massive combo of the rocket and spaceship that rose to the more 120 meters and extend to 12 meters. Why? 42 new engines will be used to powerful the system and will able to carry up to the 100 passengers to destination in the deep space. The vehicle even received a new name, the Interplanetary Transport System. Already that more than claiming include go far beyond Mars would have been the most powerful rockets ever created, easily outship NASA's Saturn V that they took.
So in its presentation, the project continued the constant phases of design and refinement to bring the project a solid structure in all its aspects, both in the material and space covered by the rocket. Once the design was refined, agreements for the production of the rocket began to be made, and from that moment, the first test flights were carried out in order to be able to take humans into a space commercial basis at some point of time. Part of the commercial plan is the agreement reached by Saku Maezawa, a billionaire investor in the project, who will be one of the first humans to board a commercial space aircraft, perhaps bound to Mars.
Starship Imcar-1. This is the name of the first interplanetary ship. Said ship is a prototype of the SpaceX launch system, planned to be reusable and can be interplanetary due to the use of a thruster reloading mechanism in space. It consists of docking tanker ship to transmit fuel.
Okay, so now let's talk about testing program. Starship prototypes are subjected to several tests in the launch system before flight testing. This includes the ambient pressure test, cryogenic proof test, and static fire of the engines. During the ambient pressure test, the test articles propellant tanks are filled with benign air temperature nitrogen gas. This test checks for legs verified basic vehicle valve and plumbing performance, and ensure basic level of structural integrity. The ambient pressure test is followed by the cryogenic proof test, where the vehicle launching and methane tanks are loaded with liquid nitrogen. This also tests structural integrity but adds the challenge of thermal stress to ensure that starships can safely load and flow supercooled liquids. SN9 was the first prototype to arrive at the test stand with engines already installed. For previous test articles with truss structures, a hydraulic ram was attached to a truss puck to simulate the truss of 1, 2, or 3 Raptor engines. SN4 was the first full-scale prototype to pass this cryogenic proof test. Finally, a steady fire test its performance by loading liquid oxygen and liquid methane and fighting the Raptor engine briefly while Starship is held on the test stand. Since 2019, prototypes of the upper stage of Starship have been flown 7 times. Prototypes of Starship, the performance suborbital flights include Starhopper, SN5, SN6, SN8, SN9, and SN10. All test flights launched from the Boca Chica launch site in Texas. So now we have here a crowd where we can see more information about this topic.
To finish, I will mention the future plans of SpaceX. In 2022, we could see the first cargo ship to Mars. In 2023, the first trip around the moon as a commercial flight. And in 2024, the first humans to Mars. Now, these purposes may be postponed depending on the tests being done at the moment and the investment. Another project that is being considered is to create a method of transport for a long distance with a network of spaceships.